today
will be their insight on mental health and its role in spreading empower happiness. So today the topic is the happiness. Wonderful. I would like also to share my all of our target as a academic institution. Our target are to promote humanization of education, to promote quality education for life living, to sustain quality education and opportunity for the Institute of Influencer, International Life Skill Technology, and Gulf Skill Pioneers Oman. Enjoy our wonderful event today, and let's go. And Mike is your Dr. Sharma. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Professor Maro. Thank you for this big kickstart. I highly appreciate your always energy. Thank you so much, Professor Maro. And as we said, this is today's event is like Professor Maro said. Today's event is two-sided. It is not just usually we are having every month World Summit, World Sustainability Summit. So this World Sustainability Summit today is having its own grace by launch of the department. So we are dividing our event today with the launch of mental health department at the first stage, and then we'll continue with your productive, constructive insights through the mental health and happiness topic. The panel discussion will continue. So before I invite our Sir Rafael Lewis, who is the main keynote person today, we are even announcing publicly Sir Rafael as the HOD, head of the Department for Mental Health, department of our organization. Before all these things will start, we want to introduce our special guests who have graced their time with their gracious presence. So I'm really humbled. Let me invite Miss Chrissy. I was just remember when I was coming up, I was thinking I will be spelling Miss Chrissy. Sky is a bit taller. Means I was no limit for this guy. So her name is mental health. Means for the mental health, she's going to expand like a sky. Her name. I was just thinking in my mind so many things about acronyms for that. So anyway, I'm so glad Miss Chrissy is from UK and she is an impactful leader. She has worked with the children suffering with all the mental health problems, and she is with her founder and CEO of Mind Body is My Body. And I can perfectly say that she is going to create an impact today because of her real experiences that she is going to bring out and her insights. So let me invite and let me welcome Ms. Chrissy. Ms. Chrissy, on behalf of I.I.I, we extend heartfelt welcome to you to the program, to the show today.
Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to be here on your special day.
Thank you, Ms. Chrissy, and we request your wishes for this great launch of mental health department as well.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much. Mental health is just such a massive problem in our communities at the moment. So I think I am really, really glad to be a part of this and to
serving in different roles. She's a leadership expert. She's a CEO. She's a non-executive director. She's serving in different roles. And I have seen Miss Indra's vibrancy during these all 6 days that I was connecting with her.
To launch this department because mental health is extremely important, not just for us elderly, but also for youth, for all the world. And I think if each of us just take a bold, small action every day, we can at least raise awareness and contribute to a bit better world that we really need nowadays. And I hope I can contribute with some of my wisdom and some of my experience with all the experts that I truly appreciate spending time today with us. And last but not least, my best wishes and huge congratulations for this bold decision, your inspiration and your empowerment for us and for all the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm fortunate.
And Ms. Indra, let me move ahead. She was in Cannes Film Festival, and today basically Miss Lorena Barcalla. You know, when I speak that name, I feel like I'm in Italy. Actually, like that language, it is her name. Wonderful Miss Lorena, a lady, a good-hearted person, and last time when she spoke, she has created magic with her amazing insights. So today also we are so happy to have Miss Lorena Barcalla today here. And I wholeheartedly, on behalf of I.I.I, welcome Miss Lorena. And Miss Lorena, we welcome you and we request your wishes as well to I.I.I on this launch of Mental Health Department.
Hello, Dr. Sharma. It is really a great pleasure to see you again today and to share our thoughts together and with all the honorable guests of this summit and everyone is listening to us today. I think that mental health is a very important topic in today's world in which life is often so complicated. So, in my opinion, on mental health is our inner balance and the inner balance of the person. And this balance can only be reached being in harmony within ourselves. So, this is the school of life, the education of the human being. And a person has to know herself or himself, be able to express him talent, being in harmony in the body.
You're neither nor in peace with yourself, you're in civil, you have this better we are as an artifact for the next generation to learn from us. If the next generation would learn from us that we're not as strong, they will be even weaker. Therefore, I'm grateful for this opportunity to contribute this conversation.
Thank you, Sir Rafael.
Great job.
Thank you, Dr. Oleg. I was communicating with Sir Rafael from the afternoon, so I'm sorry for that. Thank you, Dr. Oleg. I really liked when you said if the younger generations, the coming future generations are learning from us, that means they are weaker. What you said is very right. Like one of the researcher, he said, you should not find something where you lost it. You have to be, means if you want to succeed in the coming generations, you have to go, your knowledge should be upgraded. Your knowledge should be upgraded. So wonderful, Dr. Oleg. Thank you so much once again. We'll come back to you again. So next, now let's move on from, I can say from Europe, let's move on to Gulf. So we are moving on to Gulf to meet a financial expert who is, I think he is always he will be always meeting the people who is suffering with mental health, because finance is directly related with the mental health here. Lots of people suffer with this mental health. The backbone reason always will be the finance. So he is an expert and from UK, and he has influenced many people. Very basic way of getting financial freedom, financial happiness. And today we are glad to have him, a great human being as well, who always stick to his values and ethics. And let me welcome Mr. Avinash from Oman. Avinash, we are so glad to have you here, and we look forward to receive your wishes for the launch of Mental Health Day. Wholeheartedly, I welcomes you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma, and thank you, everyone. Good morning, and good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. So, yeah, Dr. Sharma, launching Mental Health Department, I think step you have taken. The reason I say so, having worked in corporate has always been a very sensitive. Thank you.
Thank you, Avinash. Thank you so much, Avinash. Thank you so much. What you said is very right. People are ignorant in the words, using the words. What you said is very true. Thank you, Avinash. Thank you so much. We'll come back to you again. So no, it's our pleasure, Dr. Somali. It's our pleasure. And we look forward for your wonderful questions, Dr. Somali. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
WHO. He has done digital mental health programs in collaboration with the different countries. He is an expert, I can say, in creating the programs, in implementing mental health schemes. It happens. It matters. Let's stop thinking that if I alone do something, what will happen? It started with lonely only. Even when India in independence time, when Mahatma Gandhi raised his voice, one person only raised his voice and the whole India started. So one person, no matter, everyone are working in different ways to implement. So let's carry on this ripples of positivity, contagion, because positivity is always contagious. So when one person sees that, we can impact, we can create, we can influence the people to change their mindset. And that's what we I have planned so many programs today. So Rafael is going to explain everything in his keynote speech today. He's the keynote speaker. Announce Sir Rafael Luis as head of the department for mental health of I influencers and International Life Skills Technologies and Girl Skill Pioneers Oman. So, Sir Rafael, before we start your speech, we will launch our mental health department with everyone's presence. And we request your simple, small wishes as well. And I welcomes you, first of all, hearty welcome to you, to the department, to I.I.I, and to the show. Sir Rafael, stage is yours.
Thank you. Do I press present or make a wish for the
No, make a
lunch?
wish. We will make a wish, birthday cake. So we'll make a wish first.
Well, my wish is that we already launched a successful program. So I can't wish this program a success. It's already a successful program. It's launched successfully. And to help as many as we can and reduce reason we launched this program in organization Global Mental Health Gap. And the platform was built to provide online digital mental health where we have lots of videos. And now we're launching that to narrow the gap in accordance with the mental health gap program from World Health Organization, because that's where I started my mental health studies back in the late 90s. About 22 years of study, I started the World Health Organization research first, and then finally the program is launched now. And in partnership with Dr. Sharma, many of my colleagues I know, many corporations, and my recent speech at the Global Human Resource Summit, I made that same presentation and it was approved. And we had about 500 top global human resources head everywhere, like the top 500 Fortune companies. And that speech, we provide the online mental health services. We got therapy, video, all kinds of resources on the digital. And Dr. Sharma is aware. And now this is going to be a different service we're going to be offering to human resources. The reason why is in the and among the corporate world, there is average $2 trillion that is corporate loss, 2 trillion only in US and corporate loss. And why it's 2 trillion in US alone, I tell you why, because every year you have 12 billion work days that are lost due to depression and anxiety at the workplace because they have no resources to have access to, they don't have therapy. So you have 12 billion people taking stress leave days because they're sick. And it costs companies in the United States 2 trillion annually. And they will say, hey, we can
minimize those costs by training HR to provide resources for the company so they can reduce those losses. Imagine 2 trillion in lost revenue is a lot. And the first, Dr. Sharma, you have the presentation.
No, Sir Raphael, before we start the presentation, we will launch the department.
Oh, perfect. So that's my introduction. And then let me know when I'm ready to go.
Yeah, sure, Sir Raphael. So I just wanted the first Sir Raphael to introduce himself and to talk about something about it. So as Sir Raphael has done it, so it's a time to take your wishes, to take your blessings, to take your prayers, and to kickstart this department with a vision of empowering the people, empowering ourselves, empowering everyone in the world globally. But it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. So this is the message that we want to give to everyone, because life is very short. Short life, if we just keep on struggling, thinking that it's not okay, it's not okay, it's not okay, the day will come when we are going to live this life. So let's start from today. Let's start from today to think that it's okay to be not to be okay. So with this vision and taking your all permission, every one of you, all the experts present here, I request your permission, your wishes, your blessings, your prayers to launch this wonderful department of mental health. Shall I? Thank you so much. Thank you once again. So let me share the screen to, yes, get set, go. So 1, 2, 3, start.
Yes.
I hope you can hear the sound, right? Sir Raphael, you can hear the sound?
No, but if there's no speech, that's fine.
There's no sound?
No.
ma'am.
Okay, I will do it again.
Mhm.
I hope it's there right now, right?
It's good.
This is our
I can't breathe. I have migraines, numbness, weight loss. I live with it every day. The illness that I'm suffering from is an anxiety disorder, and it deserves to be treated like any other illness. But it's not.
thank you so much to all of you for your presence. We have added all of you in our video of launching video as a memory that you are part of our vision of mental health department. Once again, thank you so much for being the part of our launch and for coming here with your gracious time to support our vision and mission. Thank you once again. Thank you, everyone. So, Professor Maru, so now this part of launch is done. So we have to now, we will go ahead with the keynote speech of Sir Rafael. I would like you to welcome Sir Rafael to launch his keynote speech.
Yes, great. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Rafael. In any case, we are ready to launch our wonderful, wonderful department because, as you know, better than me, we are in the right time to launch this department because the global situation is so complicated. So is the best possible things that we can do is to launch this department with this.
Notice we provide you with this book, Health and Safety. If the Health and Safety Committee is training next page. And after 1 week, if you start the program, we train your human resource and we give you 12 months. It's 1 year total. Give me 1 second. We're sharing Dr. Sharma's screen. I'm sharing my laptop at the same time. And make sure on the same page. What page it says, Dr. Numbers 5, okay.
Number 5, yeah.
Thank you. There we are. Mental health, stress, and burnout affects us all. My research on stress and burnout was done with a Sweden company. And based on those research, many major corporations deal 5,000 resource. It lead to depression. Depression is a serious and chronic mental health. And when people hit that depression at work, it affects their productivity. So now in our society, in our workforce, it interferes with a person's ability to complete a physical task around 20% of the time. It does also reduce cognitive performance by about 35%. That's high. So stress and burnout not treated, it becomes chronic, leads to depression. Employees take leave of absence. That's a big cost for the company. How that a culture of mental health awareness. Although I didn't mention that we're familiar with the stigma of mental health, there's a lot of emotional intelligence issue amongst people that based on stigma, they usually help. And if we provide support for employee and colleagues, the mental health, I took a course with the provincial government about health and safety in the workplace. And you need to provide, when you have a health and safety, you include the mental health check along the way. So the health and safety committee have a meeting every Friday. They will introduce mental health topic and talk about people and explain about not and tell them that burnout can lead to depression if someone don't feel good. If you have a problem, come talk to us, because if you're burning out and you don't come and talk to us, we don't give you the resource you need, and you have depression, then you're gonna ask for time. 6 weeks. So that's very costly to corporation. Any questions so far? Okay, perfect. Number 9. So it is important to, that's why we go 1 week to train EHR And that may include the health and safety committee. Not all HR have a safe health and safety committee. If they do, we train them. If they don't, we create one with them to the depression phase. The American Psychiatric Association also put burnout as a systemic organizational response because any corporate health and safety committee member 11. Okay, perfect. There was a slide before 11. I'll quickly go through it. So service, when we train human resources, if they have a health and safety committee, these are the step in the service they need to provide. So we have implement-based, evidence-based action. It can be pamphlet that can reduce workload management. And we engage with senior decision review to create a more modified workplace policies that can establish procedure to improve workload management. So within your organization. Number 11, any questions so far? Corporation have health insurance because if you say, I'm sick, I need a sick leave, you go home. If you go see a doctor, it says stay out of work for 3 months. I got a doctor's note. Corporate can say no. You go, they have to pay you for 3 months. So comprehensive health insurance also can cover mental health issue. If the company doesn't have a mental health, that comprehensive health insurance that covers those costs, the company have to pay out of the pocket. It's very expensive. 3 months of coverage and you pay the employee to stay at home. However, if they have a comprehensive health insurance, it can reduce the cost of mental health that the company may incur if the employee takes 3 months leave of absence. And if it's justified by a doctor, you can't say no. So having a comprehensive health insurance that covers this expense can reduce the cost of the corporation. Number 12, any question? All good.
Great,
Okay. We're at 12, further training goals. Funding training for seminars, creating modules, providing resources on mental health can help managers lead more effectively. You have the structure of the business, you have the manager. That's where the decision get up. You need to work with the manager because the manager work with the executive. That's your last point of contact. So you need to work with the manager so the policy can be implemented with the executive level. So training some create modules and can help managers lead more effectively and help build the culture around the whole infrastructure. So the services and resources that you provide are well aware. It makes your policy. And it's important to keep the lines open and foster safe environment where vulnerabilities are recognized as strengths. Someone say, you know what, I just lost my wife. That's typical, right? I used to work at a place where you go outside for a 15-minute break and you hear all kind of conversation. The guy is smoking chain smoke, and my God, I lost wife, blah, 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 all kind of things. And then once they go back to work, they don't talk about it. I said, if you have a person you could go say, I just need to stay at home today. I'm just going through a nasty divorce. They'll say, oh yeah, take the day off. But they're not open. And next slide. So that create, if you work, the funding training with managers help create that environment that this individual can come and say, you know what, Stacy, I just lost my parents last night. I went to a funeral. I'm not feeling good. And I cannot take the day off. Of course, you lost your parent. But if you don't talk to it, every day you start accumulating this kind of thought, it burns you out. And when you burn out, it may lead to depression. But if you take the day off, you have that resource, you can talk to someone that can help you cope with it. It doesn't lead to depression, because if it's depression, the doctor will give the note the 6 months. We don't want to, you can prevent. If it's 6 months to stay home, that's a lot of expenses. That's one primary reason when I spoke to Dr. Sharma, this service is important, because at the end of the day, you have about corporations are losing annually 2 trillion in loss in global productivity, over 2 trillion just in the US. So we are the only mental health organization in the world, the only one that provides this service. And not only it is a service that works for them, it is a well-built service that is acclaimed by all human resources. The good news is we're the only organization in the world, amongst other services. And when you talk about $2 trillion in corporate loss and productivity loss, and I say, listen, we have a program that can help reduce those costs. And we have that service. If you want to learn more about it, you have a copy. And it's available. Anyone can come for 1 hour free assessment. It's no engagement to access that service. And then we can discuss whether or not it's recommended to take. The service is already available. And next slide. That's the good thing. I'm overexcited because being the only organization with this service is we're going to feel a good need around the world. Dr. Sharma, I'm sorry, I'm overexcited. Next flyer. Who have any questions so far? Okay, there it is. I apologize. Instead of 1 hour, the consultation is 90 minutes. I'm sorry, instead of 1 hour. So technically that 90-minute free human resources is just a little slight change. I thought it was 30, it's 90 minutes. The reason why, we need a minimum of 30 minutes to complete the assessment. So minimum we complete the assessment is 60 minutes. We have up to 90 minutes, but we need the minimum of 60 minutes. So 90-minute free consultation, and I'll go through. A human resources assessment is the process of investigating the human resources department and its activities. And the assessment can be the only way to determine whether human resources department needs, duties, potential, and aptitudes are being met to achieve its organization goals. So the main aim of the human resources department assessment is to identify strengths, weaknesses in organization, to see where the human resource department achieves success and where it needs some improvement. This assessment also focuses on many areas of establishment. So this is what the 90-minute free consultation is about. What a service. Dr. Sharma, I'm excited.
Thank you so much, Sir Rafael. Thank you so much for putting up everything and for your presentation and all keen and detailed information that you have given to us. Slowly, definitely one by one, we will bring it into the society and we'll let the people to know about it. And in everywhere, like we will create awareness camps.
Of course.
Boot camps.
Feel free to schedule your 90 minutes as free assessment. It doesn't cost you nothing. And at the end, even if we recommend, you can say, well, we're not ready for it. And we understand if you need more questions, you can interact with us. No engagement. If you just want to see where your corporation, and if you can say, okay, I'll take this assessment to see where we're at. What a wonderful service. We're not going to charge you anything for it. If you want to see where your HR needs improvement, if you just want to take the assessment, feel free. If you need to take it, we say you need to take it. If you don't want to, feel free, no obligation. Please feel free. You want to check out where we are, say, all right, this could need some improvement. Do you have a health and safety committee? We'll give you that assessment, and then we'll tell you where you need improvement and where you don't. The good news is, you have under no obligation to subscribe. Why not? I would take my assessment. It's free. Okay. And this is how you schedule your 90 minutes assessment. And as I mentioned, this service is accessible. Those who decide to take service will say, "Yeah, you know what? What's the service? We have 1 week of human resource training and then 12 months KPI assessment. Every month we give you a KPI that will assess the progress. We'll give you the progress and what needs improvement. 12 months. And after 1 year of KPI, it doesn't cost you extra. Then we'll say, finally, we took your HR, you didn't have a health and safety committee. Within those 12 months, we help create that health and safety committee. We train them, they have resources now, you have the good policy. Your president CEO now has a good policy within the organization. We were able to reduce the cost of insurance that we have to pay people for sick leave, 3 months. We're gonna show you that we reduce those costs. If it's 2 trillion, imagine a company like, for example, Microsoft. Microsoft may be losing 10, 20 billion. If it's 2 trillion, some company can lose billions. If we say, well, your corporation is paying 12 billion annually because you have 5,000 people, you go take the assessment, they can help us save.
Can we continue now the summit as well? Because the
Yeah,
time.
almost done. So the reason why I'm saying that, when Elon Musk got that report, those number of people were staying at home on leave of absence, he fired them because the big loss for a company. This service is a solution for corporate productivity lost, and you take the assessment, we help you maximize revenue, increase your profitability by reducing the loss on mental health and absence leave. On that end, we're open to questions, comments, what you thought. Dr. Sharma, you lead the panel. Thank you so much. And please let me know what you think of it.
And I think I think we have to come out of this now. Mental health, we're all gone through the.
Yes, flourishing, all is fine. And let's put it in that way. You will find about 50, 60 articles on toxic. So it's some kind of a dark kingdoms. So if you're helping people to go to you're weeding out of those toxic places, it's not about it's not only about productivity of those businesses.
Can implement mental health development awareness. What strategy do you think we can adapt? Can you list out the procedure?
But in a community, we can't say because we live in the first world, our children don't suffer from abuse. They suffer from abuse just as much as children everywhere way. So abuse can seriously 8% of prisons are abused. There are people within our communities that the children can go to them. So Firstly, we need to open the lines of communication because some communities are very closed to talking about abuse. And it's just time in our world that we need to start these conversations in every single community. By opening the lines of communications, parents can talk to their children, teachers can talk to their pupils, and children can talk to parents that they know and trust about what's happening with them. Because we're not only talking about abuse from adults onto children, we're talking now with the internet, abuse child on child. Sexual abuse, child on child, because children are learning way too much on the internet every single day. So we need to build that effectiveness, that confidence, that children know, okay, I can talk about this. I can ask questions about this. I don't have to feel embarrassed if something happens and keep it a secret. So with the My Body is My Body program, which is the foundation for the last 34 years. We use music, which is an amazing way to teach children because they learn so well with music. It actually affects all the neurons in the brain rather than just talking to kids. Using music and making it an exciting and interesting lesson is a wonderful way to do it. And we have our program in 28 languages, which is wonderful. So we can reach so many children around the world. And also we're working on many, many more languages because we're getting communities involved. And I just want to show you that you don't need money to do this. We have reached over 2 million children in over 60 countries, and we have no funding. Everything's done by volunteers. So, and we teach a basic program that everybody can learn. You know, teachers, people that work with day schools, parents. We're just getting into teaching people that do sports because we have a lot of abuse that happens in sports. But to build a better community, a stronger community, and a community and areas that don't have broken adults. We need to start at the beginning. We need to start with young children, build their confidence, build their self-esteem, and make healthier futures for our children. They don't need to have all these problems later. If we can, one, either stop the abuse or two, get to it early. Mm-hmm. The average age of somebody that has been abused, like myself, is 30 years and older to disclose. It's too late then. You've gone through all the hurt, the damage to your relationships, to your life. It's already happened. And so you're building that, trying to fix everything at a later stage. Whereas if we can do it when children are young and they know, look, I can go and speak to somebody about this. It's not taboo. That's what we need to teach our communities. So we need to prevent the trauma and the abuse, and then our children will not suffer from anxiety, the depression, the PTSD that they're all suffering from, or 50% of them are suffering from. And we need to encourage this open communication within, like you're doing within the workplace, saying it's okay not to be okay for people. Because if we've got 50% of our children that have been abused, we have 50% of our adults as well that have been abused as children. So we need to make sure that and I cannot stress this enough, we need to get businesses and communities into investing into education to protect children. But as you're doing, we need to look after the adults that have mental problems, mental health problems, and take care of them on that side as well. We need to promote healthy relationships and encourage our communities with knowledge. So as I say, it's just such an important subject. That's why I wanted to come and speak on this today, because if we do nothing and we continue to do nothing to educate our children and to make sure that they are safe within our communities, we will continue to have mental health problems for the significant future.
So much, Ms. Completely, I was just imagining like when you are saying about the abuse and how it is affecting the mental health of the children and the various ways of abuse that they are getting affected. I was like, Ms. Chrissy, I have one more, when we talk about the acronym of mental health, when it comes to M, I believe M starts with me. I need to take care of myself. That stands for, according to me, mental health. M stands for me. First priority is me, where my health, myself, that is very important. What about E? What do you think E means, Chrissy?
I think E is for empowerment. Child, every single child in this world be able to stand up and say, this is my body right to hurt me. Nobody has. We teach children, we don't talk about sexual abuse, we don't use the word sex, we talk about, no one has a right to, and empowerment. We have to empower children. If we can show children at a young age that their bodies are their own, that they can stand up for their own bodies, as they grow up and they become young teens and they start dating, they will still have that knowledge of, you cannot do that to my body without my permission. This is mine, and we need children to know that. We need them to be able to feel empowered. So E for empowerment.
Thank you, Ms.
Dr. Sharma, let me add a quick opinion on that. That is so true because if you have children that are a victim of sexual abuse, and if it's not reported, it's not diagnosed, that will lead to severe mental health. It may lead to PTSD. Then once someone is diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder based on a past trauma, the kid may be, there's a lot of cases where children, like little young girls, are victim of sexual abuse by their own parents. And they can't talk about it. It leads them to more severe mental health issue and PTSDs. And that may lead to self-medication. When that girl is out there, they fall on drugs, alcohol, drugs, and slowly lead into more mental health issue. So that's right. If you get them to be educated at a young age, you prepare them to prevent. And ballet is one way to develop the child's brain. From 5, most children that grew up with the ballet environment, they're more intelligent than the average kid.
Raphael, don't forget the boys. We need to remember that sexual abuse is not only for girls. We have many of our boys that are sexually abused, and also things like verbal abuse and physical abuse can be just as detrimental and just as harmful for PTSD and all of these things. Any abuse of a child needs to be looked at, and I think parents need to understand what the lifelong damage they are doing to their children if this happens, or if they don't get their child help, or if they don't get it stopped. So it's an education for parents and for children and for teachers and for communities. It needs to be the whole situation needs educating, not just the children.
And you remember we used to have bullying at schools. Yeah. Now we have cyberbullying.
Yes, which is awful. Yes. So
that's what I was feeling like, these days, this Gen Z is having lots of distractions, lots of ways where they can distract their mental health. So thank you so much, Ms. Chrissy. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Let me move on to Ms. Indra. Ms. Indra, Again, coming to the youth empowerment is the most important to build a great future generation, a fortified future generation. What do you think the strategies that we can imply and apply on the empowerment of the youth towards the mental health?
Thank you very much. And summarizing all that, what I heard, I would all love to start with mental health is really a silent architecture of our life, laying a groundwork for resilience, for joy, and for meaningful connections. So if we follow this statement and keep in mind the definition from organization like World Health Organization, when we state it's about state of well-being in which individuals realize his or her own abilities and can cope with the normal stress, and determining how we handle stress, relate to others, or make choices. Or even if we focus on the definition of the National Center and Biotechnology Information, NCBI, that describes mental health as a dynamic complex and the concept that involves emotional, psychological, and social well-being, enabling individuals to handle life challenges, work productively, and contribute to their communities. So we are living in the world that often prioritizes physical health and material success, and the mental health can sometimes really be overlooked. But if we know that the mental health is the architecture of our life, then we really can understand why here is why mental health is so vital for our youth and for empowerment, as we already mentioned. So how we can handle that, considering the time and other experts which also want to share their opinion, let me just focus on some of them. Fostering self-confidence and resilience. Today, Dr. and awareness, knowing myself and building a self-confidence. Strong mental health equips young people with the confidence to pursue their passion, their risk, and they are better equipped to handle setbacks and learn from mistake and bounce from adversity. Then enabling healthy relationship and the social connections, fosters empathy, communication skill, and emotional intelligence, leading to healthier relationship, family, and romantic related stress, collaborate with others, and pursue their career aspiration. Then empowering decision-making and personal growth. The mental health empowers young people to make really informed decisions about their lives, that they decide about themselves. My body is my body, my life is my life, my health is my health. It allows them to develop a sense of purpose, explore their values, and make choices that align with their twins, psych and mental health. And the mental health is definitely not a luxury for young people. It is absolutely crucial for their empowerment. By prioritizing mental health, we can empower young people to reach their full potential and for themselves and the